welcome back to my channel, Planty Princess 92. My name is Ashley, and today I'm going to be propagating and transplanting my pink princess philodendron. So I've propagated this plant a few times now. As you see here, there is only one lonely leaf left. There was two lonely leaves left, but I accidentally snapped her off today. Let's take a moment of silence for this dying leaf. So anyways, our lonely leaf, we are going to propagate because I now have a good piece of a node that has no leaf on it. And instead of waiting for this to push out another grow point, I am actually going to try to cut that node off where the leaf was, propagate that, and then transplant this. It's in soil. I want to transplant this one into Leca because the propagations that I've been growing in Leca are actually growing so much better than this one that I have in soil is. So I want to put this main plant into Leca, and I'm going to try to propagate that little piece of node. I already have a little piece of a pink princess node currently propagating, and it does have a little leaf coming out of it. I will insert a picture of that so you can see what that looks like right here. So I'm going for that same, I'm hoping to get that same thing coming out of another node. And if all fails, well, I still have the plant and it was worth a shot. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go ahead, uproot this, see what's going on underneath. I'll rinse off her roots, cut her, propagate her, and then get the cutting and the main plant potted back up into Leca. I haven't had this main plant out of the soil since I got her, so I'm actually really excited to see what the roots look like. So now there's actually a really good piece of stem here that was underneath the soil. There's a grow point coming out. And now ever since I've cut this to make the last propagation, a grow point hasn't come up. And I keep this in my small grow tent, so I'm like, what's going on? Maybe because it's getting colder, but all my other plants are still growing really well in the grow tent, even though it's getting colder here where I live. So I'm like, why is this one not pushing up any new growth? Well, it's because it happened to have the grow point coming out underneath. Right here it is. So that is awesome. I'll show you better, an up close, better view once I get this all rinsed off. Now, obviously, normally when you make a cut, it normally comes out around that node, around like the next active node, but every once in a while it does come out. It can come out from any node. So, and who knows, this might have been started under the soil prior to me making that last cut, and that cut might have just encouraged this to start growing rather than putting out a new growth point. So either way, that's awesome because now I'm going to remove where this leaf was, and I will make this propagation and try to root this node, and it is going to actually work just fine. As you see here, there's another growth point that was starting to come out from under where that leaf was. So right below that growth point where this line is another node, and there's actually a root already there. So it will push out more roots from that same spot, and it already has an active root with little feeder roots coming from it. So that will actually get it started off, and this is gonna grow really great. So let me go get this rinsed off, and then I will be right back to cut her up and get her potted up. Okay, so I have my roots all rinsed off, and anytime I have a plant out of its medium and I'm washing the roots, I always go ahead and wash any leaves and stems that are also attached to it, just to ensure that if there are any pests that I can't see or are not visible to the naked eye, that they are washed off, as well as any chemicals that could have been used on the leaves from whoever was caring for the plant prior to me having them. So I got this all washed off. The roots are looking really nice and healthy. Let's check out that first grow point now that we can get a better look. That's definitely really nice. It's really popping out of there, so I'm super excited. And then along with the one that was up here. So that's really nice. Here's the last loner leaf. And this one doesn't have much variegation to it, but every leaf from each cutting I've made, the leaves are so beautiful. I will also insert a couple pictures of the propagations I have thus far, so you can kind of see an update on how those are doing. And they are doing so well. They're all in Leca, and they are all growing in my VivoSun grow tent with a VivoSun grow light, and they are loving it. So I'm gonna go ahead and make this cut. Now, I'm going to make it as close as I can to this leaf and add a slant, so about right here, because I definitely want to get this root with it and the node that's right here at the tip of these shears. And I will also have this really long root that will be with this cutting as well. So all in all, plants do grow different roots when they're in water and Leca than when they are in soil. So although we'll lose these roots at some point and grow new roots, at least these will hold it off, and it won't have to focus so much of its energy on rooting. It can kind of slowly take its time to root while it's still pushing out the new growth at the same time, which I am definitely all for. So I'll come up nice and close so you can kind of see where I'm going to be making this cut. So I want to do it at an angle, make sure I don't cut any of these roots, and I want to get it as close to this leaf as possible. Make sure I get the whole node. So I love the smell of these. Okay, so that is this, and you see I got it really close to there. I do feel a little lumpage in here, so I think there's actually another growing point that at some point will come out of here. But either way, like I said, I have this one here. That's the one that's already starting to grow. And then I have this growth point that's coming out of this one. And it does have awesome roots already. So let's get these potted up. I have 2 pots of Leca here. I am going to be putting this small node in a 3-inch mesh pot, and I'll be keeping it in a tray like this. So I will have the water level about to here. Sometimes when I propagate nodes like this, I fill it up a little bit higher. That way it's more, that way the Leca absorbs the water a little bit more and it's a little more moist around the node. But because this already has healthy roots, I don't have to worry about that so much. So I'm just gonna go ahead and fill some of this pot. Make sure my roots are there. I'm gonna make sure enough of my node is in the water, and I mean in the Leca, and it's okay if this part of the node is submerged into the Leca, because as long as you put it facing the correct way with the roots down, the node facing up, or the growth point facing up, it knows which way to grow, and it will grow up out of the Leca. So I don't have to make sure that's out. I just have to make sure that part's not going to be submerged in water. So that is that. Now I will go ahead and pop the mother plants in here. Again, the growth point can be in the Leca. I just want to make sure it's not submerged too much into the water. So that's fine. I'm going to put that about just like that. That way this top is kind of just right at the top of the medium. All right, and that's that one. you can see, the top of this is right at the top of the Leca. I have my 2 plants potted up, well, my mother plants and my node propagation. Super excited to see the success of this propagation, and definitely I will be posting some growth updates on my Instagram. So make sure you follow me there to stay updated on all my pink princess philodendron propagations. Thank you again for joining me in another video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you're interested in the content I provide. And as always, every plant's a princess. Bye!